Hi everyone, it's Dean Mannix. The team asked me to put together a video just to explain exactly where my passion for life insurance sales comes from and where this concept of doubling your life insurance sales comes from as well, because it could be read the wrong way. I think a lot of people probably read that as it's a get-rich-quick scheme, or it's about earning more money and putting more money in the hands of salespeople, but that's absolutely not the case. My passion for life insurance comes from the fact that I've been through a situation as a family member where we were extremely underinsured in relation to the death of my father. And all the money in the world doesn't replace the loss of a parent, but the reality is grieving through that process when things like losing the family home, seeing your mother having to go back to work sooner rather than later, not having enough money for the things that you always just took for granted as a kid. Those things make it significantly harder to grieve and shouldn't and don't have to happen if people have the right amount of insurance. And that's where my passion comes from. The reality is, if an insurance advisor had done a significantly better job of selling insurance to my father, then our lives would have been significantly different. We would have lost our father. There's no way you can stop that, but the ability to grieve through that process and the ability for my mother to maintain the lifestyle she had prior to my father's death would have been significantly different. And it didn't just stop there. You know, it might sound a bit strange, but one of the great things that came out of the loss of my father was that another father actually stepped up and mentored me, and that's Brian, who the book is also co-dedicated to, along with my father. And Brian was an amazing man, very, very giving, very, very strong, passionate, impressive guy who actually taught me that the force was real. And I know that sounds strange, but as a 15-year-old, learning from someone that you really respect and admire, that if you put your mind to something and you believe in it and you absolutely commit to it, that you can achieve anything, was a very, very powerful lesson that's had a massive impact on my entire life. And 15 years after the loss of my father, well, I went through the loss of Brian as well, which was, you know, in many ways harder because I had to watch it happen over a period of time as he died of lung cancer. Now, it was nowhere near as hard for me as it was for his family, but then watching them having to sell the family home up, downsize their lifestyle because of underinsurance once again, was also very painful. So that's a small part of my life insurance story. I'm really hoping that you don't have that story, but I want you to understand that if you're in this industry, no matter which part of this industry you're in, selling life insurance can make a huge difference to people's lives. And selling them less than they actually need, or helping them buy less than they actually need, is not great behaviour. And not selling to as many people as need the insurance is also not ideal. And the reality is, in Australia, we're massively underinsured, and as a nation, the endemic across all of Australia in terms of underinsurance is quite significant, with 95% of people being underinsured. So that's where the passion comes from. That's the story, or well, a small part of the story. I may share more of it as we go along, but just understand that this doubling your life insurance sales comes from a place of caring about the customer and caring about protecting and providing for the families that depend on people and depend on insurance to fill the gap should something terrible happen.